quick introduction of our panelists. We've got today myself, Ben Frisch, the team lead for Digital Service Squad here in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay. And then we have Rochelle Reynolds, one of our squad members. We've got Sam Evans of Sam Evans Media. We've got Maggie Mullen joining us as well, new squad member, and Karen Gibson from Karen Gibson Graphic Design, who's also been helping us for a long time write a lot of our digital audits that we've been doing. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and to our attendees this morning, welcome. So the purpose of this information session is to really just give an overview of the Digital Main Street program, all the different services that we offer, as well as introduce you to the newly expanded team. We're really excited to have the supports of Karen, Maggie, Sam, and Rochelle. And so it's a great opportunity to meet these fine folks and get a sense of what the program is all about, what services we offer, and answer any and all questions that you have today. So with that in mind, I'm going to start sharing my screen here. And the first thing I want to start with is just by acknowledging our sponsors, and our partners and everyone involved. So the Digital Main Street program is in partnership with and funded by FedDev Ontario, the Ontario government, OBIA, that's the Ontario BIA Association, and the Toronto Association of BIAs. We've also been helped out in funding from Simcoe County, Collingwood Township, the town of Collingwood, and the town of Blue Mountains. And the program itself, or the Digital Service Squad team here in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay, is managed by the South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center. It's a mouthful, the whole thing. There's a lot of people to thank for making this all possible. Yeah, we're just really grateful to be here to help provide some amazing supports. And so with that too, with the South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center involvement, just to point out, there's lots of other programs that they're running and that they offer. And so if you have not been familiarized with their offices, Tim Newton specifically, definitely reach out to them for different supports and programs. Check it out. enterprisecenter.ca is where you can find out about everything that's going on, especially some of our upcoming webinars as well. We've got a lot every Wednesday, 10 a.m. This is the spot to be. We're going to be doing a ton of them. Stay tuned to our Facebook live videos on Tuesdays to learn more about those. And we'll have the whole calendar of events up on the website. It's very exciting. So I think that's all I want to say for an intro to the program and everyone involved here. So let's jump into our topic today of what is Digital Main Street. And so essentially, Digital Main Street was started by the Toronto BIA Association, and the idea of the program, they wanted to address a need within their business community to support digital marketing. They saw that Main Street businesses were falling behind when compared to big national retail brands, and they wanted to support them in some way. And so this program was developed to create those supports through training, through grant funding, and it expanded province-wide And that's where we are today. And so the program actually was supposed to wrap up originally, phase 1 of it, in May of 2020. But then obviously the pandemic put a spotlight on a need for, additional need, let's say, for digital marketing. And the urgency was there, and the program was brought back. And again, with the help of their funding partners, and actually locally with the help of Simcoe County and the town of Collingwood and the town of Blue Mountains, they really stepped up to keep the program running through the summer. And then we're back in action, full speed ahead right now to really, deliver that program and help business owners to achieve their digital marketing goals and success. So I might hand over to one of our panelists to take you through the website. And sorry, I'm going to put them on the spot because we didn't really rehearse this so much. We didn't have a lot of time, but I'm going to ask if Rochelle could jump in and talk about how we start with the Digital Main Street program.
Definitely, for sure. Thanks, Ben. So yes, the very first stop for anybody who's interested in getting involved in Digital Main Street is registering with Digital Main Street. If you're not registered, then of course we can't communicate with you and we can't let you know all of the awesome things that we've got going on. So it's very, very simple. Essentially, you have to sign up with an email address and a password like anything else in the world. And you just do that through digitalmainstreet.ca. After you register yourself as a Digital Main Street participant, you're going to complete your digital assessment, which is this thing right here. So it's about a 10-minute online questionnaire, again, all done through digitalmainstreet.ca. So it's a simple one-stop shop. And the great thing about this digital assessment is that it will give you, you'll see on the left-hand side there, there are the levels and sort of the percentages that you've been assessed at sort of existing at. And essentially that just gives you kind of a nice diagnostic review of where your online presence is currently, and it offers some suggestions and training and know-how on how to improve those numbers if you're not quite liking what you're seeing at the moment. So that's about it. That's all you have to do to get registered with Digital Main Street. From there, you can check out all the different programs that we have on the go. So we have the different grants that I'm sure we're going to get to and everything. And there's different eligibility requirements associated with each of those programs. So you're going to want to check all of those out and assess which programs you'd be eligible for and which ones you should start applying for. On this page that we're seeing right now, you're going to see on the right-hand side the course content. So what that is in relation to is the online training component that anyone who registers with Digital Main Street is able to take advantage of. So I know it looks like a lot. It looks like a lot of videos to go through, but truly it is so valuable. I've gone through the course content myself, and I learned a lot just by sitting through those videos and everything. So definitely take advantage. Basically, the cool thing is, even if you are deemed ineligible for the programming that we have to offer, you can still take advantage of this great course content, and you can still really brush up your skills and your knowledge in digital marketing as a whole. So it's really valuable either way. Ben, do you want me to go into the consults and stuff, or is that good for now? Hello. Look at all of us.
Yeah. So with our team introduction and the digital service squad, here's where we'll talk about consultations and really, everything that we're available to help business owners with. This includes everything from just navigating that Digital Main Street program. So as Rochelle mentioned, there's a login, there's a training program. The grant component has a requirement to fill out a digital transformation plan document. So it's essentially a budget with some different objectives that you're going to be achieving. And so if you have any difficulty with the online system, with any of the forms that need to be filled out, that's something we can help with. Our consultations generally start with a digital audit. So down here at the bottom, and I will put this, I will try maybe one of our panelists will put that link to the calendar directly in the chat for everyone. And essentially, that's the easiest way to book a consultation with one of your Digital Service Squad representatives and access these supports. And so in there, we'll do a digital audit. Why don't I ask Karen real quick to talk about what is a digital audit and how can businesses benefit? What is the upside for our businesses?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, I've been helping Ben since February, I guess, doing digital audits. He's probably done, I don't know how many he's done. But anyways, they are an excellent starting off point to get to know where you stand in your digital marketing. Basically, it's a number of questions that we go through. We look at your website, we look at your social media platforms. Okay, I'm getting stumped already. It's really strange. Sorry, everybody. It's really strange to look into the computer and there's nobody there. So you get a little bit stumped. I see Ben. Anyways, no, it's a very important, and I think it's very helpful to see actually where you stand in the digital marketplace. We go through branding. If your branding is across all platforms, if it's the same or if it's different, we go through your Instagram account to see how many times you post, and if you don't post enough, through your Facebook as well. We go through a little bit of your SEO and Google My Business, and I think that's it.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, it's really an extensive report, right, that we put together. That the main goal is to provide you with actionable suggestions on ways that you can improve your digital marketing, and that's kind of the focus of the report. I always like to say, we are very aware of budgetary restrictions when it comes to things like rebranding. So it's very rare that we even suggest that someone rebrand completely, because that's it's a big expensive exercise. We like to be as positive as we can with what marketing you do have, and just find easy, simple ways to improve it and just make it work better for you and your business. So it's a really valuable tool, and we highly suggest booking your initial consult to get started with that. The link is in the chat there, so feel free to do that. Again, there is some eligibility criteria there, but the main thing is that you're within our service area, which from the slide you can see is anywhere from Meaford, town of Collingwood, town of Blue Mountains, Collingwood, Wasaga Beach, Clearview, Adjala-Tosorontio, Penetanguishene, Tiny, and New Tecumseth. It's quite an extensive reach that we've got. So a lot of ground that we cover, and a lot of businesses that we are here to help. So the digital audit is one part of the digital audit is one part of what we offer. And yeah, just to point out a question, the difference between the digital assessment and the digital audit. So digital assessment is just through the through the Digital Main Street platform when you first register. The difference there is that they just ask pretty basic questions like, do you have a website? Do you have social media channels? You know, which ones? It's a good overview and it's a great start. But then we take it, you know, a next step further where we actually look at your website. We look at your social media profiles. We look at your Google My Business listing. We really go that in-depth extra step to look at exactly what you have and ways that you can improve it. So that's the main.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump in. I just think it's valuable, in case people aren't aware, all of this digital audit is done by us in the background. So it's not kind of a time for you guys, these hours that we're going to do research in the branding of your Instagram versus the branding of your Facebook. That's kind of all behind the scenes. And you know, that's a service that we're providing for people rather than a console where it's going to take up a lot of people's time. If people want, then they can have follow-ups with us, and we go through everything that we've learned about the business, and you know, where we feel people could be avenues people could go down, but it doesn't have to involve a lot of time on the client side.
Yeah, no, very good point, Sam. Because we get asked that a lot, like what does it involve? What do I need to do? We understand everyone is extremely busy right now, and so that's one thing that makes it such a great a great opportunity, is that it doesn't require anything. You don't even need to send us your website address. I always tell people, if we can't find it, then that's a problem that we've addressed. So so that's how that works. And I don't know if I've mentioned this yet either, but everything's free. The services that we offer are always free, and we are not going to charge for any of this. So that's an extra bonus as well. And jumping off of Sam's point there too, with follow-up consultations, once, you know, we like to start with the digital audit because it's a great conversation starter about where you're at. And then following up with consultations, we can take a look at, you know, implementing some of those recommendations that we've suggested. You know, that can be something like activating, you know, easy to use tools such as Google My Business, social media platforms, setting up your analytics, all these different kinds of things. We can help you through that process one-on-one. So Grant asks, are the audits more of a technical audit rather than a marketing audit? There is, I mean, I would say there is a technical aspect to it where, you know, we look at the, there's like your website, for example, we look at both the functionality of your website. So are there any broken links that we can find? Is the navigation set up well? Does it make sense? You know, just that sort of technicality side of things. We don't dive into the back end or any of the code of it, but we certainly, you know, keep in mind the functionality versus the content. And we look at the content separately and, you know, look at ways to improve that. Are there videos? Are there a lot of photos? Those kinds of questions. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I'm doing this properly. I can answer live. Oh, okay. But I'm answering the questions. I hope that answers your question there. But it's cool. Yeah, keep them coming. We're happy to answer questions as we go. So 360 photos of your business is another great service that we are going to be offering. We're just getting the everything set up for to bring this back into place using our booking calendar, so that you can just book your 360 photos and have one of our have Sam come by probably and shoot those 360 photos, and they get put up on Street View so that when people look at your Google My Business listing, they get to see the interior of your space. It's really great. And again, you don't have to do anything. We take the photos, we upload them, and it gets linked directly to your business. So that's a really cool thing that we offer. Can I hand this back off to Rochelle? Maybe she can talk about a few examples of how we've helped other businesses.
Definitely, for sure. So yeah, I've sort of been on a roll with the consultations lately. Oh my goodness, it's been it's been quite the last couple of weeks, but that's great. That's what we're here for. Because of that, I'll just be able to sort of illustrate kind of the different ways in which we've been able to help people, because it really is not a one size fits all kind of recommendation. Yes, along with everything that has already been outlined, like the fact that we are offering these digital audits and we have these grants that are available and everything within the consultation process. So every time that you book a one-on-one with one of us, we can dive deeper into some of your specific needs. So for example, I personally get fielded a lot of questions about e-commerce, so setting up an e-commerce platform and social media. Those seem to be the two really big ones that I'm personally encountering a lot. So in terms of what support we offer, as Ben already outlined, I mean, we're not going to go in and take over the back end of your site or go in and implement these changes right for you, but we're absolutely here to advise and to do what we can to sort of get the ball rolling with that. So specifically, I've been helping a business improve her Instagram presence. She really wants to get on Instagram. She sees that it's a really valuable tool, but it's just brand new to her and she doesn't quite know how to use the platform. So like in consultations together, hold on, I'll just pull it up myself. I have literally been like sitting with her like this, going like, to add a story, you hit this button, and then to use stickers, this is what you go to and everything. So you know, in saying that, what I'm trying to illustrate is while we are not sort of equipped or able to take on major projects, we're absolutely here to do what we can to show you step-by-steps when and where it's applicable. The other thing that we do, so specifically with reference to a lot of the questions that I'm getting about e-commerce sites, that's where I'm definitely recommending people to the Shop Here program, which again, I won't go too deeply into that because I'm not sure if that's sort of slated for later in this presentation or not, but suffice it to say, it's our dedicated support program to helping businesses sell successfully online. It's entirely devoted to getting people up and running with their own Shopify site, which is amazing. So that's one place where I'm directing people. I've also sent people lots of links and resources, YouTube videos to watch, really anything to really supplement what it is that we cover in the consultation itself. So yeah, all that is to say, you know, yes, the Digital Service Squad really serves as that conduit between the business owners and the programs and resources that we feel are helpful, but we do go above and beyond that too. Like we do want to see all of the businesses succeed in the goals that they come to us with, and we will certainly do what we can with our one-on-one time to achieve that. I just wanted to also touch on Tara Hunt left a question in the chat. And it might be valuable. So I know Tara, she runs Anytime Fitness, which is the gym that I use, so I know her quite well. I've known her for a long time. But she is asking about the fact that she has two locations, one in Collingwood and one in Midland. Is it possible to have both audited? And I haven't responded, but I know that franchises are kind of a different story. So Ben, do you want to maybe just clarify that a little bit for her?
Yeah, I mean, book a consult with us and we'll chat about that. I mean, yeah, they're like one of the main focuses of the program is on independently owned businesses and within the Main Street downtown area. But with the Digital Main Street and Beyond program, we look beyond that Main Street designation, definitely. And I have to, we don't run into a lot of franchises either. So book a consultation and we'll follow up on that and we'll discuss the eligibility for the different programs for sure. And so digitalmainstreet.ca being the place to register as well. We did mention that already. And we were, so let's talk about eligibility. Let me stop sharing screen here. So when it comes to the different programs that we have, there is the digital transformation grant. Sorry, just a little off guard here. Okay, participant requirements. Let's share this. Here we go. So for the digital transformation grant, this is a program that was reintroduced, as I mentioned, specifically because of the COVID crisis and the economic shutdown. They brought the $2,500 digital transformation grant program back as of July 1st. The deadline to apply, I will point out, is November 30th. So it was a pretty short window of time that they were given to get this money to the business owners. But I think that a lot of people are really jumping on it, and it's getting to where it needs to go. So, but with that in mind, so the participant requirements are pretty key here. And so this is where the Main Street designation does come into play. So you must be located in, and they might have changed that, close to like a downtown Main Street, a business improvement area, or has zoning consistent with the municipality's operating plan defining a central business district. Basically, what that translates to is if you're in a C1 zoning area, usually your BIA covers the same area or something slightly similar if you have a BIA, but usually C1 zoning designation is kind of what they're looking for. Again, if you have questions, you can always book a consult and follow up on that. You must have between 1 and 10 employees, or fewer than 25 if you're a cafe, restaurant, or bar. Again, that's focusing on the independent small businesses. Is paying commercial property tax, commercially assessed either directly through rent, or I guess owning a building. Is a registered business in Ontario or is incorporated. Is open for business / operating at the time of application. So you're not just a startup. Is not a business supplying digital services for other businesses. So example being website development, SEO, programming, design. There is a vendor database for those types of businesses on digitalmainstreet.ca, so you can sign up as a vendor. We're also going to be doing an info session in 2 weeks specifically for vendors to really talk about how you can leverage this program for your clients, because they can't spend their money with us. That's not the point of it. The money is to be spent with digital marketing vendors in a lot of cases. So so promoting the program to your clients, to potential clients, if you're a vendor, is a very positive approach. It can really help out. So is not a franchise. So here they specify not a franchise for that digital transformation grant. Not a not-for-profit or charity, is not renting office space on a temporary basis. So month to month or in a hot desk co-working environment. Essentially what they want to see is that you have, a lease, some kind of permanence, some kind of office space where people can come and visit your bricks and mortar location, right? And is not a purely online business. So that's the main criteria there. So just to further break that down, you could be eligible if your business is in a BIA in a downtown area. They've also this term added a highway commercial area, but you have to look at your zoning. Usually that only applies within rural areas. Specifically, non-eligible businesses include, or locations include industrial areas, home-based businesses, a shared co-working office space like a hot desk, or malls. And they even specify if your mall, which I don't think in our service area there's any malls in a downtown, but they say if it's in a downtown, the mall location is still disqualified. Or in secluded areas in the middle of nowhere. In terms of the participant, whoever's applying for that $2,500 digital transformation grant, they must be an Ontario resident or operating a business in Ontario. They must be an individual of 18 years of age or older, a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and they have completed the digital transformation for Main Street program, which includes, going back to, what's available on the site, some people see it as a hurdle, but maybe in terms of the grant application, essentially, the training program is, I think, a valuable resource. And as Rochelle pointed out, you can still access it even if you're not eligible for the grant. But there's the digital assessment, there's the eligibility quiz. So they essentially just set up a form that asks you all of these exact eligibility questions just to kind of help to self-assess or self-assess the eligibility of most applicants before they then hit the training program, which if you want to access the training but you're not eligible, just answer all the correct answers to that quiz. It's really easy. And then the last requirement is to develop a digital transformation plan document. That's what I talked about, the budget and the objectives that outline how you're going to achieve your digital marketing goals. When it comes to eligible costs for the grant, this can cover anything or be applied to anything from digital marketing, so hiring a consultant, an agency, or any person to execute digital marketing initiatives. They don't list it here, but they do include just putting money towards Facebook advertising, digital advertising, like with a local publication like Collingwood Today. I know Stuart's on the call today, I believe. There are lots of great local publications that offer digital marketing. Collingwood Today, mycollingwood.ca, Shop Collingwood. There's a lot of different ones that could be applied to your budget. Websites so that you could do a redesign, a development of a new website, software that includes like graphic design, productivity software like LastPass, Hootsuite, Dropbox, social media software, security software, or other software as evidenced in the digital transformation plan. So essentially, you know, any kind of software that's going to enhance the productivity and the efficiency of your business, that's what this grant is here to help you with. As well as ongoing digital training and courses. Someone asked me just recently, you know, can I do a course on, you know, that's specific to my industry with this grant? The answer is unfortunately no. It's meant more for digital you know, enhancing that digital marketing knowledge and know-how. And so it has to be specific to digital marketing in order for it to be eligible. Plus hardware. So they must be deemed a necessary expense, however. So an example I've seen that was eligible was someone wanted a tablet in the office so that would be their social media tablet, and you know, that would be what would be logged into all their accounts, and whoever in the office was managing their social media, that's the hardware that they would use. So that was deemed a necessary and appropriate expense, and it was eligible. They do limit the hardware to $1,000 though, just to point out as well. And just really quickly, ineligible expenses are things like Microsoft Office, website hosting, domain name renewals and registrations, software subscription renewals, you know, a lot of things that are just really more cost of doing business. You know, they want to help you enhance your digital marketing, not just kind of keep status quo. So all of this information, including the eligibility and all of these eligible costs, are all pulled right from the Digital Main Street website. When you register and log in, it's right on the home dashboard is where you'll find all of this information. I won't go through that whole list because it's long. Would one of our panelists like to take us through how to apply? And we'll have to kind of speed this up because we're a bit behind. Who would like to run us through? Maggie, you want to take us through how to apply for the Digital Transformation Grant?
Okay, so you're going to have to go to the Digital Marketing Main Street website, and then available programs. You can go down and you'll go into, so you have to do the audit first as well. So you sign up as the Main Street business and go with us through the consult, and that's a 30-minute consult. So we'll go through you with that. You'll get your results from your assessment, and then we'll keep going through for what the Digital Transformation Grant is. As you can see at the top, it kind of gives you a step-by-step to lead you through everything that you need to do and everything that's kind of available to you as well. So we'll do the introduction, the assessment, then you do a pre-qualification, and then there's training videos that you have to go through as well. And then you have to do your application. And again, there is criteria that you have to meet in order to be able to be eligible for the grant. But as long as you put your application through, and then you can go through for the reporting as well. And then so you can go into the top bar on the website as well, into the Digital Transformation Grant 2.0.
Yeah, this is just to show, like, if you ever kind of find yourself lost, that's how you find your way back to the transformation dashboard there. And then, so yeah, just to further dive into the training, The screen that we showed before was the laundry list there that Rochelle mentioned was available. That was the Transformation Grant 1.0 online course that was required. Originally, that was about 10 hours of training material. This one has been cut down. And so they've really kind of streamlined it to, you know, more kind of specific hot topic items that, you know, are maybe a little bit more prominent right now. But those include creating an online marketing plan, effective email marketing, generating traffic to your online store, create great video, develop a social media plan, and growing your Instagram following. And this one is about 2.5 hours to get through. So you could essentially, you know, get through it in an afternoon. It's pretty sweet that way. We just had a question about the cost of a photographer to take photos of products to be put online. Would that be an eligible cost? Yes, it would be. Any kind of supplier like that to provide content for your either for your website or social media would be an eligible cost. And one point to make as well, when you're going through the digital transformation training course, we always kind of point out, and I think they've enhanced the program a little bit. They worked out some kinks, but originally it was always a problem where there's a bar at the top that is tracking your progress. And in order to get to 100%, you need to make sure that you do hit the mark complete button at the bottom of each video. Otherwise, it won't track your progress. I know when I was going through it to familiarize myself with the content, I even did that a couple times. I just hit next video and I didn't hit that button to save my progress. And I had to go back to watch it again to make sure that I get 100%. And only when you get 100% on that progress bar, then will you be able to access the application for the grant. So just talking really quickly about the digital transformation plan. Again, just a budget that essentially outlines those eligible costs. A lot of people ask about the way it's set up. They list essentially all of those eligible costs, kind of just to keep people on track. You don't have to fill out everything if you don't intend on spending money on each of those things. You only put money, put a dollar figure for the items that you intend on using the money for. And then essentially there are two columns that show your budget amount and grant applied from the grant. So what's cool, they're suggesting that essentially you don't have to just spend the $2,500 if you are spending more, because oftentimes businesses are spending more than that amount on their marketing, and so they just they want to encourage you to include that in the plan to say okay, I'm spending $4,000, let's say, but these are the items that are being funded by the grant, and then these are the items that are out of pocket for the business. So just something to keep in mind there. But it's essentially a very straightforward document, and again, we can help business owners through that process of filling it out if they need or have any questions. Now let's look at the application. So yeah, the main thing is that you've gone through the eligibility criteria or the questionnaire. So hopefully you've found out whether or not you're eligible. You know, we do have the odd business that gets to this point and they then find out that they're ineligible. And we're trying to, you know, just make sure that you're not spending time filling out this application if you're not eligible. But so once you get here, though, you want to make sure that you have these 3 items handy to upload to make the process quicker, because you can't save your progress. You have to just have everything handy, ready to go to upload, and then hit submit. So those 3 things are so business registration documents. That includes either articles of incorporation, a master business license, or HST number, or I think there's a registration document that comes along with that. And that document must show your business has been established for, no, they removed that. You don't have to be established for a year. Excuse me. The program is constantly kind of evolving a little bit here and there as they work out the kinks. But number 2 that you need for the grant application is your completed digital transformation plan document. And that is just a Word document that you can just fill out on your desktop, upload it, and away you go. And then the 3rd thing is the digital photo of your storefront or signage. Again, you know, their focus is on you having some kind of bricks and mortar storefront, office, anything like that. So if you can show your sign out front, something that shows that, you know, you're a permanent business, that will be helpful. And then there's a bit of grant information, your digital assessment, you know, strengths and weaknesses, and then just a few check boxes of business goals. How, you know, what do you want to achieve with this? And then you're done. Now let's talk quickly about, well, yeah. Oh, I have a question. Completely redirect.
And just while you're reading that, Ben, to just so everybody knows, it's not as hard as it seems. As we're laying it all out, it's like if you'd started it at the start of this call, you'd be almost a quarter of the way through by now. And the training videos, I've heard some people are, you know, nervous about, oh, there's all this training involved. Like somebody told me they'd heard it was 26 hours of videos. It's not. It's like 2.5 hours, and it's really, really valuable stuff. It's all sorts of stuff that I have to explain to clients every time I start a job with them. And it's the kind of thing that you see advertised on Facebook for like $1,500 to join this program to learn how to use Instagram and what SEO is and all this sort of stuff. And it is really, really, really useful for people. So even if you think you're probably not eligible, I'd say still do the training, because you're going to find it useful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing I wanted to mention as well, I had a conversation with a business just yesterday who was, you know, they were trying to get their application finished and they couldn't find any of the registration documents for their business. They were having trouble with that. And, you know, I said to them, you know, the way Obia is managing these applications is that once you get into the queue, meaning like you've uploaded everything, you've submitted your application, if they have any questions or, you know, they require additional documentation, you're not going to get booted out. You're not going to, you know, lose your spot in line, so to speak. Essentially, like you're in the queue, and they're going to give you every opportunity to, you know, answer all of their questions and satisfy their requests before they boot you out. And that, it could take months, I think. But I mean, you obviously want to be on top of it, but I'm just saying, the question I had from this business yesterday was, you know, I can't find this document. And I said, if you just upload, you know, your HST number in a Word document, that'll be something that you'll get that application submitted, get your business in the queue, and then that'll buy you a little bit more time to, you know, hunt down the proper documentation, and we can send it off to them, or when they ask for it, send it to them. And that would be the best case scenario, because the main thing here is that, you know, the deadline is coming up. They have a huge demand for these grants. And so, you know, we are really eager to just help people get their applications in. And, you know, as I said, if there's something missing, we can sort it out later. Hopefully you're still eligible and get the grant in due time. And so this other question we had was that I've had to completely redirect and reinvent and relocate my business and focus in a different direction. Does this make me a startup? That's a really good question. I think it would depend on you know, what you've changed. I mean, the main focus of Obia is that you know, when it comes to a startup, like, you know, if you have a location and like you know, you might only be a few weeks into it, then I think you'd still be eligible, as long as you're within that you know, the downtown C1 zoning designation. Then hopefully you would still be eligible. But again, yeah, book a consult and we can, you know, ask maybe a few more questions and help you determine eligibility. But I think technically you know, reinventing yourself is not, will not render you ineligible for sure. I think, you know, they're very cognizant of the fact that many businesses are reinventing themselves. And so, yeah, hopefully you'd still be eligible for that. Okay, so we got a couple minutes to just quickly talk about the Shop Here program. And Rochelle mentioned it kind of off the top, specifically that it is available for businesses that want to open an e-commerce store. And the way to get set up is, again, Digital Main Street. You can find under available programs in the menu, the Shop Here program, and you can sign up free. And all they ask for is a little bit of information. And here's what you get. You get your choice of an online store customized with your information, your branding, your logo. I will point out this is a Shopify website, so keep that in mind. And there are no other options. They're just setting up Shopify sites. But you get hands-on assistance setting up and launching your online store. This is not from us. I will point out it's from another group that's managing the team across, or the managing this program across the province. You get training and support to manage your store on topics such as digital marketing, shipping, and inventory management. And that's great because, I mean, I know, like, I even kind of struggle with that kind of thing. And so this team that's setting up these websites for everyone has this very specific skill set and can answer a lot more questions than we can when it comes to those topics. And then access to free tools to help support the launch of your online store. And so participant requirements for Shop Here. This is quite more expansive in that you just need to be a registered business or a not-for-profit organization. So it is available to not-for-profits. You have a commercial location or home-based business. So that's more expansive by far as well. And then have fewer than 10 employees or fewer than 25 if a restaurant or bar. That's the same as the grant program. Is not a corporate chain or franchise or an artist. And I always love that they are supporting specifically artists. They call them out there. I think that's fantastic. And again, getting started, digitalmainstreet.ca is the website where it all happens. The link to book a consult is in the chat. Our email is there. Yeah, we're always eager to share and to support your business. We've got a couple more minutes. If there are any other questions, feel free to drop them in the question area or the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. Oh, Tim says, yeah, so something we kind of skipped over a little bit in the beginning, in terms of an introduction from our squad members, just talking about their areas of expertise, because we all kind of come from different backgrounds. So we're going to just go around the table really quickly and give a bit of that overview of, yeah, what are our strengths. Who wants to kick us off? Let's start with Karen.
Okay, well, I'll go first if Karen can't hear anyone, if it's having problems. So I'm Maggie. I help run a family small business, actually, in Thornbury and surrounding areas for 6 years. So I have a bit of a background in small business and kind of working with the small area, as well as I have a background in interactive media design and web applications. So that's my strong suit is websites and kind of programming, anything in that wonderful field.
I'll jump in. My name's Sam. I've been running my own business doing digital advertising for companies for the past 10 years or so now. And we cover everything from photos and videos. It's kind of my specialty. I've got a degree in television production. So I've been fortunate enough to work all over the world for people like the BBC and Discovery and things like that. And now I'm bringing that expertise to small town Collingwood and around.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Karen Gibson from Karen Gibson Graphic Design. I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years. My specialty is in brand development. I help businesses create meaningful design solutions that provide an identity for their business while connecting with their audience or their customers. We're here to help you grow.
Excellent. And I'm Rochelle. I'm not sure who's on this call, but I'm certain that at least some of you know me from my role as founder and artistic director of Quarter Century Theatre here in Collingwood. So I am a professional actor, writer, director. That's been my background forever. Yeah, that's what I devoted my life to. And so for that reason, I have sort of gone through the school of hard knocks in terms of learning how to run a small business from the ground up, what it takes to pursue your passion and turn it into your vocation. So my area of expertise would be in scrappy guerrilla marketing, learning how to use nothing and making something out of it. I also love storytelling. That's definitely my strength. So after you go to Sam to get all your photos and your videos taken, come to me and I can talk you through how to use them and how to tell your story in an effective, compelling way. I also am the social media manager for Be Visible Web Design. So through that role, I have kind of cut my teeth in the social media marketing world as well. Yeah.
Perfect. And I will just also like to mention, I mentioned off the top, but we've got lots more webinars coming. So definitely stay tuned to enterprisecenter.ca, the event calendar. You can also follow us on Facebook, where we will be promoting and sharing those events every Wednesday, 10 a.m., covering every topic you can think of and more for your digital marketing until February of 2021. So lots of topics to cover. Definitely check that out and sign up for the newsletter at enterprisecenter.ca. That might be one of the most direct ways to get access, to get informed about what programs, what webinars we're running. So I want to say thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks to our expert panel of Digital Service Squad. Appreciate it, guys, for joining us. And we will see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.